Thank you so much for joining us. We are wrapping up some of our product-related presentations, the breakout presentations from our 2016 Strategic Relationship Meeting. Really happy to have Don Davenport, who heads up our Relationships and Marketing for Life Insurance, here with us to go over all of the life insurance updates that you did not want to miss. So, Don, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Stephanie. And welcome, everyone, to the Life Insurance Breakout session. Happy to have you. Today, we want to go through just a few things with you. I want to provide an update for 2015, how the life insurance business here at Wells Fargo Advisors did in 2015, some of the changes coming our way in early 2016, some of our goals and initiatives for the coming year, and a few highlights on things that can help you be successful as you engage with our branches and financial advisors here at Wells Fargo Advisors. So let's get started with a quick review of 2015. What a phenomenal year, record-breaking year for us in the life insurance business here at Wells Fargo Advisors. We're going to round up and call it $100 million in revenue between Wealth and Investment Management and Wells Fargo Insurance. We support both sides of Wells Fargo for individual life. So combined, again, we're going to round up and call it $100 million. That's close enough. 97 million of that revenue came to us from Wells Fargo Advisors and our 16,000 or so financial advisors within all three channels there. That represents about 27% year-over-year growth from 2014. Our general agencies were up about 23%. Wealth insurance specialists driving a lot of business, up 64%. 11 of our 15 carriers were up, so just a phenomenal year, and we can't thank you, our partners, enough. We could not have done this without you. You are so vital to our success here, so thank you so much for just a great year in driving a lot of revenue. What drove some of this? Well, there's certainly a lot of different factors, but I think we have to mention the Growth Award that was coming to its close in 2015 for the WBS channel. Certainly those folks over the last 4 years have driven a lot of revenue growth and capped that off this year with some really strong sales. But that alone doesn't explain it, I don't think. We've seen over the last several years some really great senior leader buy-in. We've heard Andy Beyer, Pisco, many others really talk about the importance of insurance planning and adding insurance to FA's practices and making it a cornerstone of the practice of our financial advisor in our firm. So we obviously need that support, and we greatly appreciate it, and I think having that support is really helping us drive some good success here. We also were integrated well with the My Homepage initiative across WFA. All 4 of our 2015 marketing themes were plugged into My Homepage opportunities, and I'm happy to say we had some really solid success with those My Homepage opportunities. In every quarter that we had them, our opportunities showed up in the top 10 among all of those opportunities. Remember, these opportunities are across all the product lines of Wells Fargo Advisors. So for us to show up in the top 10 really shows that it's hitting home with financial advisors, and we're really getting some good traction. In fact, in the fourth quarter, we had 2 different My Homepage opportunities that were tied to the legacy planning theme of fourth quarter, and we spent 8 weeks with both of those in the top 10. So just really great traction through the My Homepage opportunity, and a lot of focus coming from those themes. And again, thanks to all of you for helping drive that message and helping FAs recognize how easy it is to get client lists and that sort of thing right there from the My Homepage opportunity. Really good success, and we'll see more of that coming in 2016. While the revenue is a phenomenal story, and we're really happy to be at that really high water mark of $100 million, really what matters most is this next slide. Within Wells Fargo Advisors, we sold 9,751 policies. That's 9,751 families that are better protected. That's 9,751 goals that can be reached despite whether or not somebody wakes up tomorrow. That's really, really critical, that we recognize the importance of what we do for our families, our clients' families, our clients' assets, all the protection that we have. And then that represents $8.6 billion of client assets protected. We've all heard the stats of how much assets leave the firm when somebody dies. Life insurance, of course, is a great way to protect those assets, replace those assets. Those 9,751 policies with NWFA represent $8.6 billion of client asset protection. So, again, something to be so proud of. That's really what we're here to do in the life insurance industry, protect our clients' goals, dreams, assets, and, of course, in doing so, we also protect firm assets. So very happy to see that very large number, $8.6 billion in assets protected. This slide just shows us that 9,751 policies on the Wells Fargo Advisors side, but sort of the same way we did with our revenue goal, adding in Wells Fargo Insurance. Let's not forget those about 7,500 policies that we wrote on the Wells Fargo Insurance side representing mass market clients. The average face amount on this side, a little less than $100,000. But those are clients that obviously need the protection. Unfortunately, I don't have all of those face amounts to add to that $8.6 billion, but I can tell you how many additional policies, about 7,500. So over 17,000 policies in 2015 were written here at Wells Fargo. Again, 17,000 families protected, 17,000 dreams protected, another way to think about it. So such important work that we do, and again, we couldn't do it without the support of our strategic relationships. You guys are phenomenal. We thank you for all that you did for us in 2015 and being such great partners to work with. This next slide is going to break down those numbers a little bit more. Again, this is just focusing in on the wealth and investment management side. So our three channels under that side of the business, excluding Wells Fargo Insurance. You can see there that $97 million in revenue, 27% year-over-year growth. You can also see the breakdown. Everybody loves to see the breakdown, sort of that market share by carrier. Lincoln coming in as our top carrier, 29%, followed by PAC, John Hancock, Prudential, Nationwide. AXA, I'll give a special shout out to AXA because they had phenomenal growth, over 200% growth in 2015. Really shows the level of commitment that they are making to the institutional space. So kudos to AXA. Kudos to everybody. Again, the vast majority of our carriers grew year over year in 2015. That's a lot of hard work by our 15 carrier partners, and we really appreciate it. The other revenue by source there, you can see about, if you add up the sales desk and the term portal with our GAs, about 44% of the business coming from our GA partners, about 34% coming from the wealth insurance specialist, and the direct business representing about 10%. So that includes our asset-based long-term care and single-pay products. Everybody loves to see where their GAs fall. Plan, again, came in #1 this year, just edging out Highland. Really fun to see those two firms sort of duke it out throughout the year. Highland was above them for several months. Plan had some really big cases closed towards the fourth quarter, so took a little bit of a lead there. But, again, you guys did both a great job. Keep it up. We love to see the pie growing overall by such stiff competition. Sabres came in third. IDA had a really strong growth year. Again, thanks, IDA, for all your support there. So that's how of our HNO agencies, you can see there how you round out. From a product mix perspective, really not much change. The vast majority of our products remain in the permanent slice. That's good news for us. That continues to bring us annual renewal revenue. So we love to see a big piece of our mix in the permanent space, single pay and term. In DI, you can see the DI long-term care slice at about 3%. So that's our mix, again, by revenue. Some of the things that we accomplished in 2015, really a breakout year, setting up 2016 for a lot of hard work, but a lot of great accomplishments that we will be able to make come true in 2016. Many of these things we've been working on for years and years. And you can see the initiatives broken out there by our primary themes, making it easier, integrated, visible, keeping it compliant, and, of course, making it bigger. From the making it easier, we continue to see many enhancements to InfoMax, adding information that's at the fingertips of our FAs, enhancing the navigation so that it's more intuitive and easier for our financial advisors to get to that information. All very important work. That's ongoing. We'll continue to see that as an initiative as we continue to have a lot of work to do there. Made some great progress towards a CSU post-review. This is in the test environment right now. What this will allow us to do is for certain types of policies, term, for example, we'll be able to get that through CSU review and have them take a look at that review after the application is already sent to the carrier. So that's going to speed up our cycle time, but obviously, as you can imagine, a lot of testing and a lot of work went into getting that available, and we'll see that go live into the first quarter of 2016. Very important, we finally have the funds committed for 2016 for some platform enhancements. E-signature, e-delivery, ease of doing business is what it's all about here. So we'll be able to make some really needed enhancements throughout all of 2016. We'll phase many of these in, so some will come earlier than others, but we already have the funding. This is something that we've been working towards for years and years. And then, of course, at the end of the year, we transitioned the wealth insurance specialist business from being processed by AIM to being processed by SBIA. Happy to say that that transition is complete and has gone off without a hitch. So we welcome SBIA as our new partner taking on that business and look forward to continued improvement in the processing of that wealth insurance specialist business. In the Make It Integrated category, we launched some associate financial advisor training programs, did a couple of those this year with great success. In fact, got some really good feedback on those and continue to tweak those programs as we go into 2016, as we've got a couple lined up for this 2016 as well. We have gone live with in-force feeds. Now, these are not from all carriers yet. We've got most but not all of our carriers live. And these are not driven onto client statements yet. That's phase 2 of this project. Phase 1 is just to get those in-force feeds turned on and the data coming to us so we can make sure that the data that we're getting is what we need to push onto client statements. The good news is, though, that we've got funding to do that next piece of work, which is to push them to the insurance client statement. So, again, this is a project we've been working towards for years. It's very exciting to see that we're getting the feeds coming in, and we've got the funds committed to make that happen in 2016. So we'll keep you posted as to the time frame for when that happens, but very excited in 2016 to see client statements begin to reflect the insurance policies that clients have purchased here at WFA. In the Make It Visible category, again, I mentioned some of the senior leader highlighting insurance opportunities from podiums at various meetings in front of various FA groups. Very exciting to see that, and we need more of that, more commitment from senior leaders to make insurance an important part of every FA's practice. Again, I mentioned some of the My Home Page opportunity successes that we've seen in 2015. We'll be tying those to our marketing calendar that we'll get to a bit later in 2016 again. So hopefully we'll have the same sort of traction and same sort of success that we had with My Home Page opportunities in 2015 into 2016. And we increased our insurance-focused education opportunities for FAs. We've got Bruce Colbeck out there doing a lot of in-branch meetings. In fact, he did almost 50 meetings in 2015, well more than we had planned, so kudos to Bruce. And again, many, many of you help us, certainly all of our carriers help sponsor those, and many GAs are a part of those meetings and a critical part of the follow-up. Those meetings themselves are great, but as you know, where the sales happen is in the follow-up from those point-of-sale specialists that are a part of those meetings. So thank you for all that you've done. From a compliance perspective, hey, no news is good news, right? No audits, no issues came up from a compliance perspective, so we're doing a good job of mitigating risk. That will continue to be a very important theme for us, as it's an important theme for the firm overall, and we did a great job there. Making it bigger, again, we saw record-breaking revenue, $99.2 million overall, $100 million we're calling it. We exceeded our profitability goal, which is 10%, and of course couldn't do it without strong and growingly strong strategic relationships in our carriers and GA. So thank you all for phenomenal success in 2015. We couldn't have done it without you. So that's 2015. Let's take a look at 2016. And we start 2016 with some happy news. Linda Need is retiring. Congratulations to Linda. Been our fearless leader here for the last 4.5, almost 5 years. She's been in the industry well over 30 years. Just taught us a ton and set us up to be successful in the future. So we wish Linda all the best moving forward in her next phase. But from our standpoint, we've still got a lot of work to do. Linda set us up for success, and WFA has helped out by naming Pete Landry as the new director of life insurance. So Pete takes over after Linda's last day on February 1st. Pete takes over. So welcome, Pete, as our new leader, new director of life insurance, new leader of the life insurance team. So with change, everyone asks the question, all right, what's coming? What else is changing? I'm happy to say that the model is working. We really don't have a need to change the model. So we're really looking at a consistency into 2016. We're still very committed to a multi-carrier model. We've got 15 top-notch carriers today. We love having all the carriers and the support that you give us, so that's not going to change. We're continued to be committed to an external GA supported model. Again, we can't drive these sales without all of our 8 general agencies that we have. We need you. We're not changing that model. And we continue to be a model of relationship and choice. So FAs have a choice of who they get their sales support from, be a GA, be a wealth insurance specialist, be our sales desk, or even our online options. FAs are in the driver's seat. They get to choose. That's our model. We're not changing that model. Similarly, our life insurance team is committed to the same types of roles and accountability that our team gives you. So we'll continue to have sales support through our advanced case design team. We'll continue to manage our operations and our programs and make things easier and more efficient. We'll continue to manage relationships, marketing, product, and of course continue to add value by getting out into educational opportunities into the field and at various meetings. So this slide shows our model. Again, no changes here. The same coverage, the same responsibilities for the life team, the same support from the wealth insurance specialist, general agencies, etc. So good news there. No changes to our model. It's working really well. We don't want to see things upset. So consistency is good. Let's take a look at some of the initiatives that we have planned for 2016. Another thing that you'll see consistent is those categories really have no need to change. We want to keep making it easier. We want to keep integrating it more and more. We want to continue to make it very visible for our FAs and clients. We want to continue, of course, to keep it compliant, and we want to keep making it bigger. So some of the things under each of those categories, I mentioned before, we're going to continue our InfoMax enhancements. We got a lot of work to do. It's still the primary place where FAs go to get their information. So we've got to make sure that it's intuitive, easy to find, and we've got all the right information out there, both from our internal team as well as our external partners. So thank you. We're going to continue to build platform enhancements. I mentioned that we've got funding for many of those, so we'll continue to work towards those enhancements throughout 2016. We'll see several different implementation of various enhancements throughout the year and even into some of 2017. And again, we'll continue to simplify the application and fulfillment process through many of those. In terms of making it more integrated, we'll continue to we'll look to deliver in-force information to client statements. I mentioned that, but we already have the funding and work going on. We'll look towards second to third quarter, hopefully, to be able to get that on the statements. We're not completely in control of that, so that could drift, but 2016 is definitely the year to get some of that done. We'll continue to execute our 2016 integrated marketing calendar. I think we've got the calendar in a later slide here. I'll show that at that point. We've had great success the last couple of years doing some really solid initiatives and tying those initiatives to the Wells Fargo Advisor overall marketing calendar so that we're consistent with the firm overall. So we'll take a look at that. And, of course, continuing to expand insurance training, AFAs, and others. Continue to make it more visible by increasing our exposure to senior leaders. We've got dashboard and other tools that help us do that. Deliver regular reporting to WFA field leadership. This is something that's been coming for a long time. We need to get the right information in front of field leaders so they can see what their FAs are doing and they can help their FAs then be more and more successful. And, of course, that will also include partnering with area sales managers, productivity consultants. And, of course, we'll continue to build our WFA branded marketing material, make those available to all of you so that you can use those as you're out with our FAs and help you drive our message while you're visiting with folks. Of course, we'll continue to look at our product suite and make sure that it is well suited for all of the varying needs that we have. And we've got an orphaned policy reassignment process in the works now that will help us keep that process compliant as well. Overall, we look to drive revenue in excess of $90 million. Let's hope to get over that $100 million mark, but also want to be realistic. We don't have a growth award this year, so it may be hard to replace some of that WBS revenue. So somewhere in the $90 million range. That goal is not firm yet, but somewhere in the $90 million range is what we're going to shoot for, and continue to get that profitability above 10%. So those are our big goals. If you look at some of the things that we have planned in terms of training initiatives, we've got our Advisor for Life meeting. Great news here. The meeting sold out. We initially have these planned for 100 top FAs that meet our criteria. We actually sold out in the first day. Can you believe it? So we've extended that meeting, pulled some budget from a few other things to make that meeting at 150 FAs. So very excited to have such great traction. We've been doing these meetings for a number of years now and have seen good, solid growth from these. So excited to see FA participation so high and to have an opportunity, thanks to all of your support, to be able to extend that to an extra 50 FAs. So that's coming in February, 150 FAs this year instead of 100. We have our national sales meeting for our wealth insurance specialist also in February. That's going to be in Atlanta. We will have a WIS higher education meeting. We'll get that scheduled sometime second to third quarter. Location to be determined. We'll always, as usual, have our GA due diligence meeting here in St. Louis. We'll also plan to do about 30 market meetings. Again, this last year we did 49 actually. So outstripping that same goal that we had last year of 30. So we'll see how many we can get done, but certainly have a goal of getting 30 of those. We'll do 50 national webinars, generally speaking about 100 FAs on those various topics, and we do those most often weekly, and then we'll have an opportunity to get all of you as part of a national WIS call as well. So that's our lineup of scheduled events. Of course, we have other things that we have an opportunity to get into from time to time, but we don't get to schedule those in the same way. So that's what we have planned for 2016. Let's take a look at a few things as it relates to being successful here within Wells Fargo Advisors. I think a first critical component is to really think about how we're positioning and how we're thinking about protection planning and life insurance as a piece of that within WFA overall. It's become a cornerstone for our clients' financial planning, protection planning being that key cornerstone, life insurance, of course, playing an important role within that protection planning. And we're really taking it from a solution-based approach, recognizing that life insurance needs can really be folded into 4 broad solutions: protecting the family, protecting retirement, protecting a legacy, and protecting business. If we stay focused on those 4 areas, we'll keep it easy for FAs and clients alike to recognize where their protection planning solution falls. And, you know, what we believe about insurance, if you think about our philosophy, our vision, if you will, if we were to accomplish these 4 things, we would never have a need to worry about our revenue goal. I think it would take care of itself from now on. Those 4 things, or every client who earns an income, you know, that someone else relies on, those people have to have enough life insurance, disability insurance to replace future income that would be lost if they didn't wake up or got disabled tomorrow. You know, that's the cornerstone, obviously, of what we do from an insurance perspective. That's how we protect families first and foremost. So we got to make sure that everybody has enough, and that's really about having that good conversation. What would happen to those that rely on you if you didn't wake up tomorrow? Every client should have a plan to cover health care and long-term care expenses in retirement. Note that I didn't say everybody should have long-term care insurance. I said everybody should have a plan to cover it. This is, again, all about having that good conversation. What would you do? How is your family protected? How are you protected? How's your retirement protected if something happens? This has become the #1 concern for our retired clients. They want to know how their health care and long-term care, as a piece of that, is going to be taken care of in their retirement. Big open question. We've got the solution, so let's make sure we're having those conversations and the client understands their plan and is comfortable with their plan. Again, every client should have a plan for how their wealth is going to be transitioned at death. They don't have to have life insurance to do that, but it's certainly efficient as long as they have the plan, have that conversation, make sure clients understand how it's going to happen and that their plan is going to work for them. And, of course, insurance review is a very important thing to do, and in fact, it's one of our ongoing themes that we want to dedicate time to helping FAs recognize the importance of doing that life insurance review, make sure those existing policies continue to meet goals. So as you're out there talking to FAs, make sure that you're referencing from those perspectives. You will tie in nicely with what WFA is saying overall as it relates to insurance and how it plugs into the overall financial planning goals of the firm. I mentioned that 2016 insurance marketing calendar. These are our quarterly themes that we'll be going out with. We're in the first quarter, so we've launched our extended care planning. My homepage opportunity is live, and the material is out there and available. So extended care planning, all about that health care, long-term care conversation for our clients. Make sure that you're having it. The second quarter supplemental retirement income, many of our clients have tapped out on their contributions to 401k and are still short reaching their retirement goals, are looking for another solution, especially a tax-free one. Life insurance, of course, offers that opportunity. So helping our clients understand when and where that makes sense and how to structure policies, et cetera. In quarter two. Quarter three is that policy review. So again, making sure that clients' existing policies continue to meet their long-term needs, and if they don't, what can we do about it? And in quarter four, a little bit of a change for us this year. We're going to be focusing on business owner strategies and helping business owners, those clients that are business owners, understand some of the key important protection elements of owning that business and protecting it. Some other tips for being successful here within Wells Fargo Advisors. Again, make sure that you've gone through our due diligence and code of conduct. If you're not meeting our standards, you're not going to be able to play, basically. So make sure that you're following our rules. The rules, of course, we review every year in our GA meeting. We have our GA handbook that outlines them very well. Everybody has a copy of that. So make sure that you're reviewing them. Make sure that you're following the rules. like what Leanne said, don't ask for forgiveness, ask for permission. So be proactive and work with us there. Nothing more quickly can get you removed from the firm than not being compliant. Again, some just general tips. Recommend what's best, even when it's not life insurance. We're all professionals. We understand that, and we understand how much it really adds to the client relationship and the FA relationship when you do that. Really come from the client's best interest. Being successful, make sure you're consistent and predictable in your presence. Statistics show time and time again those that win the day show up. If you're not showing up, you're not going to get the business. So if you've made a promise, make sure you keep it. Be consistent and predictable in the branches. It will go far and away towards making you successful. Make sure you're working all channels. We don't have just one channel. We've got three. They all three sell life insurance. All three have the same processes, carriers, products, etc. GAs can work all three channels, so please do. Help FAs become more productive in insurance and in everything else they do. So again, help them. If it's a branch manager that has a recruiting goal and you know somebody, give them a name. Those things go a long way. Share your progress, next steps, and success stories with the branch. Keep them on track. Track your wholesaler activity. Understand and support WFA campaigns. So that's why we make all these things available to you. It's very important that when you're out there, you're speaking things in the way that we want you to. That's the way that we're speaking of them. And so the more you do, it's going to reinforce that message. The FA is going to much better understand when they hear one message versus 20. So please help us with that. Know how your FAs leverage WFA's systems and tools, Envision, My Homepage, Infomax. Understand these things, be able to talk in that FA's language. And, of course, know the process. And if you need help with the process, we're happy to go through that. We provide lots of training there. So those are just some quick tips for continuing to be successful here in WFA. Again, great year in 2015. Thank you all. We could not do it without you. And we're looking forward to 2016. A bit of a change in our leadership structure in wishing Linda all the best in her retirement, wishing Pete all the best as he comes in to fill some pretty big shoes there. But we know Pete will do a great job. Most importantly, we know that with the help of all of our strategic relationships and all the projects that we've got going to make our business better, 2016 can be a very successful year for us. So looking forward to all that we can do together. Thank you all again. And with that, Stephanie, I will turn it back to you.
Don, thank you so much for all of those great updates and what's happening in your world of life insurance. I know our partners are they greatly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to reiterate this information for those that were not able to make the breakout where you presented this information in the meeting. So thank you, Don, for your time, and thank you all for listening to this recording. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.